Throwing at the outset, here's Mahomes. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. So much for coming out throwing as it leads to an early second down and long. Running left, it's Warren. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. That'll net 7 yards on the ground, but it'll leave him with a healthy distance still to go on third down.
This defense for the Broncos, they had certainly had their struggles to start the season, but they put it all together in getting that first victory a week ago.
And while you can't actually see confidence rising in a unit, you feel like you can. And when you look at this team, you definitely think that it is, because anytime you can tell your offense, just get us a couple of touchdowns, we got this thing locked down, that's when you know you're playing well.
I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is third and long. Snap coming at 1, and it's Mahomes. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first.
Hey, 43, 15.
Now Mahomes. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 9. A big play there for the Niners. And even 50 yards.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
They toss it to Warren. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense, because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
Here's second and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. The slot man in motion right. Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. And a great job there to read that one defensively. They strung him out,
we're good.
would not allow him to cut upfield.
Hey, 43. Hero, 15. Yellow.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Give him a couple on the run there, and now they're in that in-between area here on 4th and goal.
Now, they did get a little gain on this play, but all in all, a nice job defensively against the touch pass. They were able to string it out towards the sideline and never let him get the corner and turn it upfield for a bigger chunk of yardage.
They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Riley Moss. And the Broncos are going to get the ball back on the turnover. They hold on 4th and goal. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football, but at the same time you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there.
Bravo 80. Let's go now.
They'll start this drive out on the ground.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Bring it. Broncos switch.
Right back to him on first down. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down. Absolutely no trouble moving the ball on the ground on the first two plays from scrimmage.
Absolutely. You know what I really like? Same guy carrying the ball in both plays, and what drives me crazy is when a back has a nice run, he taps his helmet to go out of the game. I would want the ball again and again and again because you've established really nice momentum, and now you're seeing the field really well.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
You look at this Niner defense.
This unit, they've struggled a little bit against the pass, ranked number 21 in the league.
And even though that's not the greatest ranking in the world, one thing you can say, they get after the quarterback. They're in the top 10 in the league in sacks.
Second and 10.
Hogan 19. Here we go.
Nix from the shotgun. He'll find Lamb. That's complete.
And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 33. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is first and 10, down at the 33. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry.
And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
Second down and 8.
Trap 60. Trap 60. Ready.
Working out of the gun is Nix. That's caught. It's Marvin Mims. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 19. No score after one on EA Sports. So here's a first and 10 now down inside the 20.
Come on. Set.
Operating from the gun. Here's Nix.
Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a first and goal.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It's second and goal, back to the 8-yard line now.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A great effort there.
His third rushing touchdown on the year. And the Broncos post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this second quarter.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
Yellow.
They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be second down.
The Niners at 500, 3-3 through the season's first 6 weeks. Now, they were losers last time out, trying to turn things around here in this one.
And it always helps to have a home crowd behind you, giving you encouragement.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain.
Well, those have been a problem for him all season, but never quite as much as they have in these last few minutes. Let's count it up now. A pair of picks on his team's last 2 drives and double-digit interceptions this season. I don't care if you're the best in the game or an undrafted.
And now off to the races, down the right side. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A big play there with his second touchdown here in this first half.
And the Broncos are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Extra point right down the middle, and it's now 14-0.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message.
And Mahomes misfires again, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Drew Sanders.
And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Off the play fake, Nix.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Ball on the 27. Here's 2nd and 3. Here's Nix.
He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he's out of bounds, almost gets to the 10. Denver has the first down, the play going for 15 yards.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
Now it's Nix.
That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
It appears they found something that's working, and they keep going back to it. I guess you can actually say he has the hot hands now, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's one thing to hit your guy out of the backfield once, hit him a couple times. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're onto something.
And I think a lot of that is simply if you get it to him in space, more times than not, He's going to get more yardage than you expect out of each play.
He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. A great play there. On his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns.
And the Broncos have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 21-0.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Fire down these two. Fire down these two.
They'll send a receiver here in motion right.
They'll get it forward to him on the touch pass. Well, a great read by the secondary. They come up to stop that touch pass before it can even get back to the line.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12.
50, yellow, 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 yellow. Where's it?
Looking to throw is Mahomes.
Got his man. It's Warren.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
15. What's that?
And again, it's Mahomes. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime.
And this one incomplete. And another throw that really could have been, maybe should have been intercepted. That would have been number 4. Instead, it's 4th down.
Mahomes and the offense staying out there. They'll go for it on 4th.
Where's it?
Mahomes going to go on 4th down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by Drew Sanders.
And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line. A great pick, nice return, but you know he's just beating himself up inside for not getting all the way in.
No doubt about it, because he had visions of end zone in his mind. Going to be the total hero. But we did see there the emphasis on it's not just good enough to pick it off anymore. Bring it back, get the yardage, and really help out your offense.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal.
18 Rattler, 18 Rattler.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver.
Cade Otton.
His 3rd touchdown now on the year.
And the Broncos are able to widen their lead here in this first half.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 28-0.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away.
And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Now here's Mahomes. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks. Like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him.
And now here's another interception. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Nix to the air.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time.
And now an audible here into something else. Throwing Nix.
Escaping the pressure right.
Open man right side, it's Lamb.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. To throw is Nix. Able to find the open man. That's complete.
Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even third down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Nix to throw again.
That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds right at the 3. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
Street. Let's go.
They'll try to run this one in. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A great effort there. On his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns.
And the Broncos will extend their lead here just before halftime. So just 8 ticks remaining here in the first half as they'll kick this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
And with Mahomes under center, anything's possible. Watch out for the deep ball.
15. Yellow. Go gun, go gun, go gun. Right side.
Final shot before the half from Mahomes. He's got a man complete.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. Denver offense at the line, ready to go.
Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
To throw, here's Nix. He'll get that complete to Franklin.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and that will bring up second down.
Buffalo 18. Here we go, set. Panther street. Hey, check that. Street. Hurt.
Looking to throw. Nix. And this is incomplete. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Ready.
And they're going to at least line up to go for it here on 4th down.
Left thing 19. Let's go now.
They'll go for it. Here's Nix.
That's to his running back, complete. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. First down on a pickup of 11.
Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7.
104 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Panther 11, Panther 11. Ready. Hot, hot.
Back to throw. Nix. Eluding the... And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown.
Bo Nix
With his 14th touchdown of the year, second of the game.
And the Broncos take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. This taken in right around the goal line.
Oh, a good-looking return set up here.
And a great return, solid field position. He's up all the way to the 45-yard line.
We all know that teams never want to use the word panic, but if they expect to win this game, it has to start right here, right now. That return just set them up for points, and it needs to be a touchdown, not a field goal.
Throwing now is Mahomes. And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Pat Surtain.
And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be second down.
Reload, go!
Now a handoff as they run left side. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go.
That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
70 Lions, go!
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
Yeah, this is only going to be a gain of 2. He needed 3. It's 4th and 1.
How about this? They'll change it at the line.
Dragon 60. Ready?
They're going. It's Nix.
Throw left side is complete on the diving effort. And he's taken down inside the 30. A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. First down on a pickup of 11.
Trap 60, trap 60. Ready?
Looking to throw. Nix. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Franklin. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that'll bring up second down.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, mini camp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down.
Let's go.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss.
Tag. Ready?
Back to throw. Nix flushed out right. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
They were backed up behind the sticks, but he still found a way to make that first down happen. That's the kind of fight every coach hopes his franchise quarterback has in him. Look a tough situation like that in the eye and come up with a solution on the spot.
Off the play fake, here's Nix. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
I think he's as fine with that incompletion as a quarterback can be, in all honesty. He avoided his first sack of the game, and he did have a chance of connecting for yardage, just unable to on that throw.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line.
Panther 60, Panther 60, 79 Broncos.
They'll try and throw. Here's Nix.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
There's another example that playing football isn't strictly being physical. You've got to think as well. Nice job reading his keys by the linebacker and going out in the open space when they dumped it to the back. He was able to make the play and stop.
Touchdown, Broncos! Cade Otton, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game.
And the Broncos will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. The turnover on the last drive, they had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play.
Now a 2nd and 10.
15. Yellow. Hey, 57, 57. My turn.
Working from the gun, Mahomes. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack.
Nick Bonito,
the outside linebacker, dropping him for a loss of 6.
Well, it's obvious, but I can't help but say it here. It's never a good day when the opposing defense has more sacks than you have points. The win seems likely, but this defense is still playing for something here. They see that 0 on the scoreboard, and they don't want that to change.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again.
That's Drew Sanders who got in there and dropped him.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down.
Yellow.
So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
Yellow. My turn.
Now Mahomes got to have this one. And now here is another interception. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Looking to throw. Nix. And a quick throw here. That's complete. So the pitch and catch good for 11. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
Here we go. Here we go. Go.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1.
108 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Extra point splits the uprights. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away.
And they will not get a chance to return this one. Back of the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
Now, this game went off the rails early for them and never really got back on track. And these fans, they were expecting to be on the other side of the scoreboard. But that is not the case as we play on here in this 4th quarter. Nick Bonito able to record his 5th sack of the season. Now runs straight ahead with Warren.
And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It'll go as a first down for San Francisco on a pickup of 16. And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning. Mahomes now to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Warren. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score.
2nd down and 6 now.
57 color, 57 color. Yellow. Yellow. Our side.
They go play action. Now Mahomes. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 41-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Yellow, yellow. Our side.
Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
Yellow, yellow. Our side.
Mahomes to throw once more. Quick hitter here. It's complete. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Mahomes going to throw. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Too many zeros on the stat sheet thus far. No touchdown passes, no points for his team, but he remains undaunted. Still attempting to get his team on the scoreboard, firing the ball downfield.
No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now. Going quickly out to the right side. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10.
15. Attack! Fire down these two.
Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. And my goodness, another interception.
Brandon Jones picking it off.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game.
Come on, set. Set, go.
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. And now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside.
On the set.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
Even after the penalty, still a full 7 yards to go on 3rd down.
Go! Ready.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost a big chunk, 6 yards there, and it leads to 4th down.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
For the winning team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National Football League. No turnovers, what you mean